Welcome back here to the corner. We're live here, and we got Alexander on as the co-host tonight and guest. Uh,
Cheers, you folks.
and Alexander is sober as a damn whistle, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. Could never be more sober than this. I mean, have you
So,
seen the latest episode? Damn, I was sober there too, right?
I
Like,
mean, like we were talking about, like how it was to open up a business back in the day.
yeah,
Um,
back
yeah,
yeah, back in we're talking like the 50s or 60s.
like I
Um,
imagine it like it probably was like virtually no paperwork in Europe.
no, I don't.
Almost no. Like I mean, like you could probably just get a house or like get your building and then put up the sign, and then damn, there's your business.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
I can't talk for the paperwork first. I just know that my grandfather he had what do you call it, a plumbing company
yeah,
installing toilets, and my uncle once told me that during my grandfather's top times, he had his business per day was like one or two toilets that he installed. That was it.
wow,
Compared to my father, who makes like between 400 and 500 kitchen doors every day. That could, of course, also speak to the technological improvements and the fact that my father a is an industrial worker.
yeah,
Uh,
but still, man,
but
you can't look away and disregard the fact that like back then it was a
yeah,
whole other speed with doing things.
yeah,
While
definitely.
today it is like, gee, we're going to make
Yeah,
500 kitchen doors today,
yeah,
right?
fuck, man. I mean, it's like, but also like, of course, the complexity of a toilet is much bigger than a fucking door, because a door has got like what a fucking door handle that you need to press down, and then it opens, and there's a little bit more to a toilet that needs to flush as well.
Well,
Um,
that's true, but like when they build a house or when a house is built, then that is like already then that is like like one of the first things that are getting put in, not the toilet, but like the pipes, right?
yeah,
So you
yeah,
will see,
true.
so the pipes will like be there, and then what the plumber then has to do when they're like getting to the
Yeah,
bathroom, um, is to like install the toilet.
yeah.
And by the way, like the plumber is, I'm not sure. No, the plumber does not lay the tiles. That's the mason that lays the indoor tiles.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so no, man, the plumber actually only installs the sinks, the shower, and the toilet.
yeah.
Like like
But
what?
but 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 again, it is one of the first things. So the mason comes in as the first guy, puts the brick, like yeah, like it puts the bricks down. Then the carpenter comes in, puts in some of the wood that needs to be in the house. Then the plumber is that the correct order? I think so.
No, the carpenter gets in first
The
because
very first.
yeah, at the very first,
But there
because
needs to be bricks before you can
that
put in wood.
yeah, but like if you're going in like like how a house is built, especially in Denmark, right? Then you build the shell of the house first. You follow?
Yeah, yeah,
And then like what do you need in order to build the shell? Well, you need the okay, man. So actually, like at the very first, you have the concrete pour, right? Yeah, you have
yeah,
the
yeah.
concrete pour and the fundament. That's the very first thing that gets done. Um, or like if you're going to get real technical about it, like the very first thing that's done is that like all these pipes and cords and stuff are already lined up there in the ground. and
Yeah.
this is done, you know, like by craftsmen in order by the county.
Yeah.
And
What do you mean
then
by chords though? Because if you
I
mean
mean,
like
no,
electrical wiring, that's no that I and I know this because I was an electrician for
yeah.
like half a year until I was fired because of the fucking fapper. Uh, and yes, I will fucking should I name his name on this podcast?
No,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
have to.
Let's just no. Let's just fucking get this out there. The fucking fapper. Sick who was fucking all high on his business
Yeah,
needing to
yeah.
be run fast, and I wasn't working fast enough. So he was like, "Nah, can't keep you on, and I don't think you should ever be an electrician because you work too slow." And this was actually true. This was what he. And back then I was like I was still 22 years old or something like that, and then I was like, yeah, sure. All right. If you tell me that, then yeah, I guess you're right. Then I just try to do something else. But I gotta admit though, I do feel better doing intellectual work. But still, the fucking way he fucking told me you should never be an electrician because the money is not rolling in fast enough.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
I was like, fuck you, man. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just electricians in Denmark that are too fapped out or
yeah.
too stressed out.
Well,
But what I did learn from that time was that the electricians are coming in as the last people
yeah,
to
yeah.
put
Like,
in
you know,
stuff.
like what I mean by, you know, this is that, you know, like the pipes and the water cords. That's like the first thing that gets put in the ground.
Yeah,
And then when they pour the concrete, they make sure that this is like, you know, like in the concrete, so it's like sticking up from the concrete when they're laying the fundament for the house. And
uh-uh.
then what's coming in after this is the carpenter, because he's putting up, you know, the skeleton walls around the house.
Oh yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
skeleton walls and the skillevegger, right?
yeah,
The inside walls. And then after this is done, that's when the mason comes in, you know, like at least to put on the outside shell of the house. And then you know, like also like regarding the carpenter doesn't only put on the skeleton walls, he also builds the barriers, you know, like for the roof, or the outlines for the roof also.
yeah, yeah.
But this is done like relatively fast because there isn't a whole lot of complexity to setting up the skeleton walls,
Yeah.
right?
But
And
when,
well,
yeah,
yeah, come on.
what happens then?
Well then,
Yeah,
uh,
because I know you have a lot of experience in that
yeah.
area.
Then you know you have the mason who's like then putting the isolation, the rock wall inside these skeleton walls, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And um, and then he starts to mason up the bricks on the outside, and that can, you know, like be anything from six like from okay, this is like in Danish size bricks. I'm not sure what is how I think like in the US the bricks are like a little less than twice the size as the Danish brick. But in
yeah,
Danish
yeah.
size bricks, it is it can be like anything from 8,000 to 20,000 bricks, depending on like how huge of a house you're building, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then on the inside, the mason typically they don't use masons to, you know, like build the inner, you know, like the inner wall of bricks too, because that's way expensive, right?
Yeah, yeah,
uh, so but like if you have people that have money or just wants to have it because they think it looks cool, you know, like with what do you call it, like a New York raw wall right inside. will typically go like the extra mile and spread some extra cash on that. But
You mean did you say raw wool or rock wool?
no, like a raw wall, like if you
Oh,
Google
okay.
like a New York wall, then that's like just raw bricks inside, right?
Okay.
On the inside wall. But typically you don't do that. You're like using what's the what's the English name for it? You know, let's see. What is what's the Danish word for gyps? No, English word for gyps. Let me see.
I don't know.
Plaster walls. Yeah. Typically, you would
Okay.
use plaster walls inside, like because that's the cheapest option. It's the
Yeah.
cheapest option you can have, right? Except for that, you have like some other options, but that's like the most commonly used. And then like you just paint over it, or have the painter paint over it too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. You're right. The painter, the electrician, and the painter are the last two craftsmen to finish up a house,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, this I know because do you know who cleans the house when it's done?
No.
It's the
Is that?
painter. It's the painter,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
right? It's the painter that cleans up the house when the last person to enter and clean. That's the painter.
That's actually interesting that it is still a craftsman who does that, and it's not actually a separate person who's like the house cleaner at
Yeah.
the end. That could be.
I think like like at some point you have to draw the line, and you think like
Yeah,
how many
yeah,
how
the line between taking in new crafts
yeah yeah right.
into the equation.
And you can imagine like that sometimes this was like a real nightmare.
Because you guys, for all you guys who don't know this, we're talking a lot of craftsman stuff here. Um, every single entity, like with mason, carpenter, electrician, they all cost a fuckload of money. Like
Yeah.
when I was just an apprentice, I earned I actually earned, wait, what was it? Yeah, like 10 $15,
Yeah.
depending on
You
no, no,
can
wait. I earned 60 kroner. How much is that?
you can look at it this way, right? If you're building a house and the cost for the house that you're getting is $400,000 in Denmark, then half of that is wages for the craftsman. Half, man.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
and then the remaining, the other half is like materials and shit.
Yeah,
But yeah, like god damn, that's expensive. And also it's kind of like a nightmare when you're like planning this because if you want it to go fast, right? You kind of like then the different kind of like craftsmen's group are addicted to, or not addicted but dependent on other craftsmen, right? Like for instance,
yeah,
if you're the carpenter waiting to put up the skeleton walls, you're waiting on the concrete to be poured and dried, right?
yeah,
And if you're the craftsman waiting to like isolate and mason up the bricks, you're waiting on the carpenter to get finished.
yeah,
And the real nightmare would be if you're like, because like you have the mason and the plumber. Yeah, the mason and plumber can work simultaneously, but
oh yeah, yeah,
because like the mason can start in another room to lay tiles or finish up like the wet walls. Also, that's what you call it, like in the bathroom it's called wet walls, and it means that you are like securing the walls, or with an extra layer or a different layer of these like, what do you call it, like the clay and all this stuff, right, with the tiles. You're making sure that the walls can withstand the humidity,
uh, uh,
right? and that's
Right.
also the plumber's job to make sure this is in place in the bathrooms, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like like sometimes, and also this is another thing. If you don't know, if your viewers don't know this, um, craftsmen are not friends with other craftsmen. They pretty much fucking hate each other.
Yeah,
Right.
at least if you're like on if you're cross disciplinary or no on cross disciplines, so like
Yeah.
yeah, electricians they don't really well they might
Yeah.
not hate each other, but they are also like and I know this because I used to pay like when I was out with my with not the master, not the fucking not Axel the fucking fapper, but the guy below him. When I was out with that guy, we used to run into these masons and carpenters all the time, and it was not like a hateful look that we gave them. It was just like, huh, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like some fucking monkeys running into some bears or something. Like, uh, we acknowledge you're here, but we kind of don't give a fuck about you guys.
Yeah, man. Like it's not like you're going to share a beer at a construction site,
No, no, no,
right?
exactly.
Uh,
It's like just get in and out.
yeah.
We are here now. You got a problem with that? You can fight us, but we won't fucking do anything until you do anything. It's
And
like that.
man, like, and another thing, I forgot to mention, like the roof tiler, the guy who puts the roof on, you know, that
Oh
is
yeah,
typically somebody with carpenter experience, right, or carpenters. But
yeah,
it is not the carpenter firm for the house. It is a separate craftsman firm. And let me tell
yeah,
you,
yeah. I know. My
yeah,
my 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 cousin is actually that.
yeah, and
He's done that for 2 years, and man, that dude is fucking rich, by the way.
yeah, I was going to say it like,
Fuck.
holy crap, they earn a lot of money. I mean, like these guys will take like $15,000 to $20,000, maybe more, depending on like what kind of like
Yeah,
roof tiles and
yeah.
shit that you're wearing, or clothing your house with. But goddamn, man, like this is the price you pay, right? And you know
But
how
then again, they also work a fucking hard job. I mean, he's fucking worked to the bone.
yeah.
I mean, he worked. There are days where he works 10 to 12 hours a
Yeah,
day.
but man, like if you're earning $15,000 in a week, I mean, like
Yeah, yeah,
you
but
can you
he's fucking wasted after every day. He's going home and his fucking bones are hurting.
yeah, but then
It's not just fucking muscles that are hurting. His bones are
yeah,
fucking
I'm like
hurting.
thinking, like if it was me,
And
or
and my
or
and
if
my
it
and
was
my
you,
second yeah, yeah.
if it was
And my
me, or if it was you, or it was both of us, then I would have like said, um, you know what, Alexander, we're going to work 4 or 5 weeks, and
yeah.
then we're going to take the rest of the damn year off to train, recuperate, and
Yeah, yeah.
making podcasts, right?
Yeah,
But
I would be behind that because
yeah,
that's a healthy way to live.
yeah,
But my cousin, fuck no.
no,
And it sounds so cool when I say the cousins like in Breaking Bad, but it's not them kind of cousins. It's just like normal cousins.
but
But yeah,
of
like
course,
they're like no, they're like if they heard this podcast, they would be laughing like, what the fuck are you saying? Uh, work 4 to 5 weeks a year? No, we're gonna work 52 weeks a year.
yeah,
Ain't gonna make no
yeah,
breaks. Well, maybe we're gonna make one year, 1 week of vacation a year, but that's it.
you
We
know
gotta fucking work all the other weeks a year, 51 weeks a year.
the problem these guys are having is
And yeah,
that
before you
they
get into that, let me just tell you the biggest problem that my youngest cousin is having right now, because he actually he broke his. No, he didn't break his hand, but like he got this carpal tunnel syndrome or whatever, so that like his hand is it's a very weird thing that he has where it's like I don't know what the fuck you call it. You know,
No,
carpal tunnel.
yeah,
That's
I
the
know
only.
it. I've had it. It is when you're like putting too much weight or too much pressure on your wrist,
Yeah,
and then it gets
and
fucked up.
he's been to the doctor with it like several times, and it doesn't seem to get better. And the problem is, if he doesn't get this fixed quickly, he's going to have permanent damages to it for the rest of his life. He's going to
No,
suffer pain every single week, every single day
no.
with this thing.
Eventually, it goes away, but it's probably gonna take.
Not if
It's probably gonna
not
take
if not if
years.
not if he doesn't get it treated though. He
Not if
needs
he not if he continues to put pressure on it and work.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. And also he needs physical treat
Yeah.
to get it go away.
Yeah. And like this is what I wanted to get into. Like this is what these people don't understand, that the human body, not the human life, but that too, but the human body has an expiration date, right?
Yeah.
And the
But
more and
it's
the
also like it can't be a healthy profession if already after because my cousin is 18. No wait, how old is he? 19. He's 19 years old, and he's already getting the trouble in his wrist.
yeah.
So that's not a long expiration
No,
date
but
if you
this
ask
is
me.
this goes for like almost all craftsmen groups, right? Because
Yeah.
because like how many carpenters do you know that's above 50, above 55, and in their 60s? It's not a hell of a
Uh,
lot, man. It's not many.
no, actually, I know a few, but that's also because like the amount of work that craftsmen had to do just 50 years, and this was what we talked about in the beginning. The amount of work that they had to do in the 50s and 60s was almost nothing compared to now.
No.
I mean, now they have to work 10, 20, 12 hours. Of course, they get a hefty overtime check as well. But still, like
Man, is it
there,
worth
there, there,
that?
there, there
Is it worth
is
that?
no. And
Right?
and and the thing is, they like, of course, they take it because the work is there, but that is also because there is not that many craftsmen these days, especially in Denmark, so that there will automatically be more work and they will get a larger paycheck. But that also means that they're breaking their body down
Yeah.
faster than in the 50s.
Yeah, man.
And young craftsmen these days, they don't know that.
No.
They're just fucking doing it, and then they get into that situation like my cousin, and then they break their fucking wrist, and they have to get physical therapy and shit,
Yeah.
so that they don't fucking suffer pain for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, like if
I
you're
mean,
opening up a craftsman firm today, then I would like to say that if it's going good, you should just keep open 6 months a year max, and then the rest of the year you should like be focusing on your body, your health, going to physiotherapy if you need that, and like keeping yourself in shape.
yeah,
Because that's the only way you'll survive a long time in a craftsman group.
yeah,
But yeah, like most of them don't understand that, and they just keep working and taking on more work, right?
yeah,
And when I was like working on this, working like a planner, there was like several mason firms, especially mason firms, and painting firms that was taking on more work than they could handle.
yeah.
Right, like because like because they would be like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really all comes down to these fucking bosses, like the boss I had, that fucking fapper that I mentioned in the beginning. I'm not going to say his name now because like once is enough. But yeah, it all comes down to these fappers that are sitting, these stress fappers who are sitting in their office. Gonna get more money, gonna get that number higher, that number higher.
You know, like, and I gotta like ask, like, why?
Yeah,
Why?
exactly. Because he already had a big fucking farm. He
Yeah,
had a big fucking mansion on a plot on a or, no on a lot that's like fucking uh 200 hectares big, and I was like, the fuck does he need to accomplish more than that?
yeah, yeah. Like, what?
But it is the Trump instinct. Just going to coin that term right here.
The
It's
Trump instinct.
the Trump instinct, because it's that fucking unhealthy greed that we have talked about, that is just more, more, more,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
fuck, man. And
That's
like
that's
the
unbearable.
the human greed that that is spawned from society. Um, I don't know, man. Like it's probably, I don't know. I don't know. I don't
No,
know how the
like,
fuck this is spawned, because when we were still hunter gatherers, we would just fucking kill a gazelle and then fucking eat the meat that we could from that, and then leave the rest to rot. We wouldn't fucking take it and conserve it. We would just fucking leave the rest to rot.
yeah,
And yes, that may seem greedy too, but today it's like we have these fucking people like Trump who are stockpiling more than one gazelle, who are like stockpiling 100 gazelles and leaving 99 to rot.
yeah. It's crazy.
What the
It's
fuck?
crazy. Um, but yeah, man. Like, I wanted to like say something else here, but like it kind of like slipped away from me. I'm not sure what I was going to say, but I'll start with like saying that, like, yeah, the electricians are like probably the last person, one of the last craftsmen in a house, because they're putting in the electrical sticks and shit.
Yeah,
And then comes the painter
the
to
electrical sticks. It's not
yeah,
sticks.
no,
It's
I mean, like, sorry, it is my fucking
uh,
inadequate vocabulary in English. It is the electrical outputs in the house. You
no,
know,
it's the sockets.
sockets.
Uh,
Thank you for expanding my English vocabulary, Alexander.
yeah, we have the sockets, and then the wiring has to be drilled all the way.
Yeah,
Actually, I try to drill. You know, like sometimes an electrician has to even drill the canals in the wall. I did that. That is fucking tough, because you gotta, and like I'm not the biggest guy, but I'm thankful that I actually tried to do that. That's one thing I'm thankful for, I guess. That I tried to do that, because you have this big ass drill, and then you have to put it to a wall, and then you start it, and then it just says this fucking loud noise as well, all the way down through
yeah.
the fucking wall,
Can,
and then you can pull the wiring up through that.
can I ask, you know, like, what went through your mind when at the time that you decided yeah, I'm gonna be an electrician.
Well, like, I fuck, I don't know, like, I just thought, yeah, well, I've tried two academic educations already, and it seemed to be bullshit, and like, the fuck shit does not really make any sense and stuff, so, yeah, why not, I'll try some fucking craft shit.
Yeah.
But then I figured out how fucking fat, how stressed that. And
Well,
then I was like,
at,
fuck it, I go back to academia again.
at least it was one experience richer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Now it came back to me what I was going to say. I don't think that people was like generally this stressed out and fapped out in the 1950s. I don't. I think
No,
like it was a way more laid back work environment back then, and
yeah,
healthy
yeah,
work environment back then.
yeah.
But then again, we were like also talked about, you know, like how easy it would be to get like a big job in Coca-Cola or Pepsi or something like that in the 1950s, as all you would need to do would be to show up and say, I'm a hard worker, got my high school diploma, will you give me a job?
Yeah.
Right.
Or not even high school.
No, not even
Just
that.
like even just if you have a fucking elementary school diploma, then just fucking show up with that. Say, yeah, I fucking learned the basic shit you need to be a human. Now
Yeah,
give me a job.
yeah, exactly. And but
But
that's not the times we're living in now, unfortunately.
and the biggest problem, and I just listened to the Joe Rogan podcast, End of the World. A shout out to that, yo. Where they also talk about the fucking Trump and how a lot of before Trump, how a lot of jobs have been outsourced to China. And then I was inferring from that the big problem today is actually that, or actually that the cause of all the problems in the West is China and India, because they have these fucking big ass companies that we're outsourcing all the jobs to, and who are doing these jobs?
Yeah,
Fucking 14-year-old teenagers in a sneaker factory in China.
but it is also our fault for letting it happen, to let the
Yeah.
greed consume us, to be like, no, we can make 10 times
Yeah,
more
yeah.
money by outsourcing these jobs to a 14-year-old kid in India working for $1 an hour.
Yeah, but it is the biggest fault, the biggest blame I would say is to place on China and India for creating these fucking companies where it's possible to
Yeah, but
outsource too.
of course, they're going to, you know, like these are countries with over 2 billion people in them combined,
And that
and they're
and
going
that's
to
and
make
that maybe
money.
and that's the underlying problem. They're fucking, but we're talking about this, but why the fuck are we not fucking stepping in and fucking declaring war on China and India, like fucking saying, you either you decrease your okay, I'm fucking sounding like a fascist. I'm actually not condoning that, but let me just fucking, okay, warning, spoiler alert, this is fascist just now talking, and you should not condone this, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. Let's fucking declare, yeah, let's fucking declare war on China and India and say, either you fucking decrease your population, or we'll move in with the tanks and the fucking nukes on you guys.
Well, you know, like unfortunately, my friend, it is not up to you. It's up to the government. And
Yeah,
the
yeah, but no,
government
no,
will
no, 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 no,
always,
no, no, no. I'm fucking saying, I'm stating this to the government. I'm fucking advising the
yeah, but
government.
the governments will never do that, because the governments will always have the back of the companies actually using these services, because they
Yeah.
make more money than
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
government
Because yeah.
then the
Oh
government
yeah.
gets more taxes, and
Yeah, that's a
that's
good
what they
point.
want.
I mean,
So
like, I'm also like, I don't want, as I need to say that once more again. This was just a crazy thought, and of course you should keep that in check.
yeah,
You should not for
but
like,
I
just forget that again. Just keep that as a temporary lapse of sanity right there, and just enjoy the thought. But of
yeah,
course
let's
it's
move on.
surreal.
Let's move
it's
on
a
from
it's
there.
a it's a dystopia is what it is. It's a dystopia. But anyway, like, but it is a problem. It is a problem, the overpopulation in China and India. And like, they need to do something, but of course they're not going to do something, but they need to do something about it. They
No,
fucking
then
do.
you know,
And I
like
hate,
the
and I
only
will say
listen,
though that
man, listen.
this is the last thing I want to say on the subject. I am tired that everybody is just ignoring it, including China and India. I'm tired that China and India are including their overpopulation problems.
Yeah,
I'm 100% behind
I,
that.
I
I'm
you know,
fucking
like
tired. No,
at some
no. Do you
point,
agree? Do you agree?
yeah, yeah, I can see what you're meaning, but
No, no. Do you
here's the
agree?
thing,
No, you can see
man.
what.
I
No,
want
no,
to
no,
say
no, no.
something.
I'm like, man. I want to hear if you agree, not just if you understand. Do you
No,
agree?
I understand, like that China and India are ignoring their overpopulation
Yeah,
problem,
yeah, but do you
but
agree? It's two different things.
yeah, I
Like
agree
with
that they're ignoring the problem. But I can also see
okay,
it. I can
okay.
also see it from their side. Like, what the fuck are they gonna do about it? It's not a whole lot of things they can. Like, unless you're like actually actively suggesting that they go out and shoot people
No, no,
for
I'm
being
not.
too much,
No,
then no.
I'm saying put more stricter rules in place that control
They tried
the
that. They
birth policy.
tried that. They
No,
tried
but
that in
they
China.
haven't tried. They haven't tried hard enough.
No.
They need to make stricter rules. They need to make, instead of having just one official kid per family, they need to make, we can only have we can only have one per family that has an income of more than 30,000. What do you pay with in China? I don't know.
Chinese yen.
Chinese yen. So more than 30,000 Chinese yen. Then you can have just one kid. Like, fuck, try to, and or just fucking be better at checking up on the citizens in China. I mean, something has got to be done. You can't just fucking be a fucking government, a communist government, and sit there. Ching, ching, da, 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 ding. We gotta sit down and meditate while the fucking, and I can Google myself to that when I Google here China 1.4 billion, and it keeps going. Oh, there's another one, and I'm on worldometers.org right now. Oh, there's another one. There's another kid. There's another kid. Oh, there's another kid. We're on 1.4 billion now, and they're just sitting there.
I, I don't think that's actually the case, though.
No, it is. It is. It is
But
completely
man,
the case.
but in any case, though, what I was going to say is that the problem with that we're outsourcing
Now
jobs
we
and
are
stuff to
now we
India
are
and China
1.4.50
is
billion.
is
Now we are
is that
1.60 billion.
okay?
Now we are 1.470 billion.
The problem with that we're outsourcing jobs and so to China and India will eventually come back and bite us in the ass when unemployment starts booming in our countries, because then it's going to be a question of like, hey, why is our unemployment rate so high in our countries? Oh, is it because we're outsourcing so many jobs to the east? Then yeah, then that's going to be the focus, and we need to bring back workplaces then. But that is the unfortunate nature of the human thinking, is that we first tend to do something when it's already too fucking late. That's when
But
we
the
wake
thing,
up and we be like, oh
but
shit, we should do something.
the thing is, China don't give a shit. China sitting there meditating.
Yeah,
We have
that's
the
another thing, man.
we have the
Eventually that's going to be all good. And then, man,
all your jobs to us, because we are the power.
man, how much have you had to drink tonight? Are you completely wasted or what?
What?
Yeah,
No, I'm just no. Actually, on this point, I'm just stating reality here. I'm just trying to like make people understand. Anyone who's listening to this, I don't know who will be listening to this. Trying to make people understand the reality here, because you're not grasping it. I'm not grasping it. And
well,
China is just
how are you explaining a reality that you're not grasping? That's the big question here, because
what?
all I know, in the words of Sokrates, all I know is that I nothing know. Like,
Yeah, that
think
totally.
about that.
No. Yeah, I'm totally behind that.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my favorite quotes to Socrates.
All right.
All and that's what we can base this whole podcast on. All we know is that we know nothing.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't change the fact that China still doesn't care. They
No, that's true.
They
But
don't
without
care.
getting too much
Yeah.
into that, then I am going to round off the podcast here at the 40-minute marker. And say thank you to all you listeners for giving this a listen, and remember to help
still
the
not giving a shit about China.
and remember to
You
if
can
you
see
like
how
this,
how oblivious we both are to China.
if you like what you hear, then please help the channel on its path to 50 subscribers and subscribe. And again,
if you're a businessman, pull your business out of China.
yeah. All right,
And-
that was the final words. Thank you all, guys, for listening. Peace out.
And pull your business out of China.